Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG Podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week, where two old guys play old games.
This is old. This game qualifies.
Yep.
It does.
Yep. And it is a game.
Yeah, it's over a decade old, so that's old enough.
Oh,
We've
shit.
covered much
Okay.
newer games than that.
All right. So this
Fallout 4, for example.
this is Dad Month, where every other
Yeah.
ship Monday we're going to be doing a dad-related game. Not that wide of a field, obviously, by what we
Surprisingly.
chose to do today.
So wait, are you feeling regret that I suggested that we do Dad Month?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I feel regret for Googling something and being like, let's just do this one.
No, don't.
Because today we are doing the new games classic, Dad and Me.
Dad apostrophe in me, not
Yep.
Dad in me.
Dad and Me.
Yeah, which is a really, really weird follow-up to Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2015. Dad in me.
Before we get to that, we've got a package here.
Yeah? Who's that from?
We have a mackage.
A mackage. Laying down heavy mackage on us. we just have a box of panties. You're welcome, people who hate the word panties, Josh Edwards.
Because we have a wonderful package here from Jack of Ziggy Moons,
Yes.
Michael H.
Now he just recently sent us a package because he sent us the MRE, remember?
Yeah.
So we're getting more
He's
stuff
all over
from him.
this. This guy's pretty awesome. All right, first thing I pull out of this box.
Is that a VHS tape? What is
this?
that?
I'm gonna see. I think is it candy?
What's it called?
Is it no? It's a card game.
What is it?
It's a card game called Tentacle Bento,
Tentacle Bento.
fan-funded edition. On it says mature themes recommended for 16 plus.
Not 18 plus. So what's that on what's the art on the front? It's women, I see that.
It's anime style. It is women fighting.
Okay. Now, I didn't expect that from a game called Tentacle Bendo.
Let me put the light on here so I can read all this.
Here, I got it. Which one is it?
The long one. Nope. Yep. 2, 3. There we go.
Yeah. I love how every time I pulled the switch, there's this little bit of a static charge that went through the board. That's probably good for it.
So here is, let's see. Here's what it says on the back of the box. It's your first day of school. A Tokyo spring warms the summer grounds at Takawashi University for girls. Your clever disguise won't hold out long. You flex your tentacles in anticipation for the mayhem to come.
Okay.
The invasion is coming, and you need to snatch up as many schoolgirls as you possibly can. This is a standalone card game that pits you against your fellow aliens in a contest to see which conniving alien can catch the most students. Fast-playing, innuendo-rich, Tentacle Bendo is a game of awful anime tropes, cute schoolgirls, and flailing sucker limbs. 108 lavishly and authentically illustrated cards feature the locations and personalities of Takawashi University and this off-the-wall stranger side of anime. We should definitely try this out, and if we like it, do an episode about it.
Yeah, I want to let's bring it to Jacob's wedding.
Yeah.
Let's play it with strangers that know Jacob. Can I
Let's
see
play
it?
this with Jacob's mom at the rehearsal.
Yes. And Tim. You know what? I had a weirdest shower moment earlier today because I'm looking forward to Jacob's wedding, and I'm like shampooing my hair and I'm like thinking about. I was like, I'm the kind of person I'm driving myself crazy because I'm like, what am I going to wear? Like, what am I going to wear? Because it's like, and every day that ticks closer to Jacob's wedding, it's just like, I'm so fucked. And I think about it in the shower every day. Like for the last month, I thought about it in the shower. And then I found peace. I found transcendence when earlier this morning I was washing my hair and I was like, what am I going to wear? And I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm finally going to meet Tim, I bet.
There you go. And he won't care what you're wearing. He'll just be glad to meet you.
So that made me feel better. I want to look at some of these cards.
All right, I see something else in here that I think is going to settle the arguing.
Uh-oh. Have we been... Uh-oh. What is that? That looks like it might be a lizard waifu.
Oh, this is definitely another waifu pillow cover.
So now we're just gonna fight over which one we get, unless you've already.
So this one is a cat girl in a maid costume.
Have you already used the other one?
Nope.
All right. So given your pick, describe her to me, please.
Well, this one is a brunette cat lady.
She's a cat. She's a cat lady.
She's a maid.
Can you?
So I guess we have one that's a brunette and one that's a blonde.
Okay. Can you hold her up? All right. Okay. So yeah, she's she's a cat maid.
And then this one also has a horizontal.
Okay. All right. Well, Tyler, which one would you prefer?
That one.
This one, the cat one?
Yeah.
Perfect. I wanted the other one.
And then there's also a letter in here that I dropped. So let me open this up and read this.
All right.
To Tyler and Dave. Sorry I forgot to include a letter in the last box. I accidentally left it out of the package. Anyway, I guess it gives me an excuse to send this package as well. I never played the N64 Power Rangers game. I just remember one of the prior episodes Tyler saying he wanted to play a Power Rangers game on the show sometime. I do. The SNES one. But that one also looks terribly terrible. And I want to do that one too.
Did you watch some of the gameplay for it?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's the Power Rangers game. That one, not the SNES, the one that was sent.
The N64,
the N64 version. When I looked it up, I was like, man, it's a 3D brawler.
Yeah.
So it's like that is
on the N64.
I know. There's a name for that, and that is it's called games from that era. That's the dark ages of a brawler.
Ugh. Musha is a great shooter for the Genesis. Sonic needs no explanation. Project Diva F2 is the sequel to my favorite rhythm game. I've easily spent 100+ hours on this, and the first one, it's addicting. If I lived in Kentucky, I'd like to be on this episode. Oh well. And then there's something blacked out.
It's redacted. His letter's
something redacted. At least let Paul Korn, the rhythm master.
All right. Guy who dances.
He's requesting, the guy who dances.
What was that one called again? I don't remember. That's so awful.
That's the
I don't remember
that was the
one.
PS3 game.
Oh, okay.
Megarine Luca is my favorite Vocaloid. That's a funny sentence. Please find enclosed the following: Tentacle Bento.
Yes, got it.
Chocola from Nekopara. Oh, I thought I'd recognized her before. Okay, Chocola from Nekopara because cat girls are cute and it didn't come in time for the other package. Till next time, bloody-handed otaku of Ziggy Moon's Michael H. This letter also contains a graphic design joke. Let's see if Dave can see it.
The package contains a graphic design joke?
This letter.
The letter does?
Oh, I know what it is.
Let's see. That puts a lot of pressure on me, man. Oh, Comic Sans?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I was immediately drawn to, well, what's redacted? Did he use proper editing? No? Let's see. We could probably figure that out. There's definitely the word maybe in there.
Maybe question mark. So it's like, fly me in, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe it is. We can't afford that, but... So, yeah, we can't afford that.
But we fully encourage you to start a GoFundMe for it.
Yeah. Well, cool. I'm really excited to play this game. I want to play this game.
Yeah. No, it looks good.
Tentacle Bento. Like, the art style in this is great. I got a little disappointed when he mentioned that it was like a funded thing, because that makes me worried that maybe if I like it, I can't go out and just purchase it somewhere. I don't know. I'll have a link to that in the show notes because it does look really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder how it plays.
I agree.
It's not for children also.
Not for children.
Right next to an icon of a screaming woman and a stylized tentacle. Not for children. Cool.
You want to talk about a game?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this one?
I guess, sort of.
I've got a We Done Goofed.
Oh, please. Yeah, let's do that.
So there was, the enlightened sports players, the sports people of TADPOG, the sports faction. It's a
The strong sports faction.
yes. They spoke out, and I think they had some legitimate criticism of our glossing over of Madden 94.
Okay.
It was mentioned by Tony, Impresario Tony, that SNES Madden games never controlled as well as the Genesis version, which I would have known maybe if I actually played the Genesis version as opposed to just doing research on what was different.
Because to me, the controls, it really just felt like I was just picking plays and then watching.
Well, I think that's just how the game is, right?
I mean, that's how, I mean,
I guess by controls.
that's why I really didn't understand Madden for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
like,
far paw.
yeah, far paw,
I
near
remember.
paw.
Yeah.
You have your dad do stuff.
Yeah. We're playing all the hits today. We got Cave Manny.
Ooga.
We got Ian. He's going to read a letter from John Turley later. And Tony also says that the EA Sports games in general were better playing experiences on the Genesis. I don't know if that's obviously, I mean, that's subjective, but I don't know. Being a guy who didn't play many sports games as a kid or EA sports games as a kid, I don't know. I would have to take his word for it because I had a friend in middle school who owned a Genesis and he had Sonic 2, which came with the system, and then everything else was a sports game.
Man. Ugh.
So I don't know if that was like the console to get in the 90s for sports games, kind of like how the PlayStation became the console to get for JRPGs.
Yeah.
I don't know. So thanks, Tony. I appreciate that that insight. Phil also gave you shit. Us
what?
His exact quote to Tony's very like insightful comments. I think. Here's Phil's quote. I don't have YouTube comments, so this is gonna be it. He says you can't get that kind of analysis by watching YouTube videos, Tyler. So I don't know.
I played it, Phil.
I
For
didn't.
about 5 minutes, but I played it, Phil.
I didn't. So I didn't even watch a YouTube video, Phil. So that should have been directed at me. All I did was type in Google differences between Madden 94 and SNES Genesis, and then the first page that came up, I was like, click. All right, looks like they switched some teams. Done. Time to play a different game.
You want to talk about Dad and Me?
I do want to talk about Dad and Me.
Does it have a Wikipedia entry?
You want to guess?
I'm going to guess no.
You're guessing no?
I'm guessing no.
Why would you say no?
Because what was the game we did recently that didn't have one? Haunting?
Yeah, Haunting.
With Poltergeist didn't have one, so I'm not going to assume Dad and Me has one.
Well, it didn't have a game facts.
Oh, okay.
We did one recently that didn't have a Wikipedia, but I can't remember which one it was. You're right. But I think Haunting did. You're correct though on this one for sure.
Yeah.
This does not. Dad and Me does not have a Wikipedia entry, which I wasn't surprised at first because I was like, well, this is a very short Flash game that's on Newgrounds. It came out in 2005, and it's done by the art style is done by Dan Paladin, whom everybody listening probably knows his stuff from Castle Crashers.
Yeah, because that's whenever I started, I was like, oh, okay, I know by how this looks that I'm going to enjoy this. So,
yeah, it's got a very unique style. Like immediately I knew, I was like, oh, that's the guy who did Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid, which are much, much longer games than this. So as I was playing it, I was disappointed because I was like, ooh, this isn't like nearly as good as like Castle Crashers or Alien Hominid.
yeah.
And I was like, man, but I like it. I like how it looks. I like how it plays.
The concept.
Yeah. And I don't really want to shit on it. And then when I actually looked it up, I was like, oh, well, this makes me feel better because this is like one of the first time. This is like one of the first games that they did. Like this was
Makes
before
sense.
Alien Hominid.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like an early attempt.
Yeah.
So it was done. This is my Davepedia because I don't
Okay.
have a Wikipedia.
All right, yeah.
I just did a little research on the game. So Dan Paladin, the artist, which of course we all know from Castle Crashers, and Tom Fulp. I wanted to say Tim Fulp because I was thinking about Tim York. But like
We always are.
those are the two guys. Those are two of the three guys who started the Behemoth, which is the game development company that made Castle Crashers.
Oh.
Tom
I started the Behemoth, the beast tool in the world, and
from Final Fantasy
in the end days.
from the Bible.
Yeah.
Man, that's a way back.
Bible, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
We hold both in equal esteem.
We need to do an episode, or we need to work together and write a blog post about like Christian themes and what Square has done with them.
Oh, there's a lot of
Yeah.
shit. That's a deep well.
Yeah, I know. Like that
Especially
could be a
like-
series.
I mean, I watched the game theory over just Chrono Trigger. Like, I did not realize like how many Christian and Muslim elements are in Chrono Trigger. Like, it's a ton.
Yeah. So yeah, one day when we're smarter, let's do that.
Yeah.
Can we agree on that? So Tom Fulp is the guy who started Newgrounds.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know this, but in the he like started it as an online newsletter in 1991. And do you know why it's called Newgrounds?
No.
It was from what I understand, it was a gaming fanzine, and it is a take on the name of Neo Geo. Neo Geo translated to English from Greek. I think it's Greek or Latin, Neo Geo. Neo meaning new and Geo meaning ground. So that's why the site is called
Wow.
Newgrounds.
Damn. Okay.
Like in 97, he decided to register newgrounds.com. And instead of distributing the fanzine like that he was, the way that he was doing, he decided to just make a site. And then on this site, he designed some games and put them on there. One of those being Dad and Me, the game that we're talking about today. But he also opened it up to other people to develop games and submit them so that they could be rated by people who play them, come to the site and play them.
Because, man, like, I want to do this game to talk about Newgrounds.
Do you want to just talk about Newgrounds first, or do you want to get into the game?
Let's talk about the game first.
Okay, all right.
Because this game, you are playing essentially like the son of a villain, like a elementary school bully villain.
Yeah, it's kind of ambiguous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
It looks like you're in a regular world elementary school, only you are the prototypical, like, your dad is the prototypical, like, boss to a beat 'em up stage where he's like this giant purple barbarian in like a Jason mask.
yeah, he looks like if Jason made it with a Shy Guy, like this is what would come out is the dad in
Yep.
the game.
And then you're his elementary school son, and he
Yeah.
he drops you off at school.
You don't play dad, you play
No.
me.
Yep. And I like how you get out of the car and punch the car door shut.
Everything is punching, and I laugh my ass off because it's like, yeah, he gets out of the car and punches the door. Did you watch the intro cinematic to the game?
Yeah.
Where it's just him on a neighborhood street just beating the shit out of kids.
Because like when I watched, I was like, okay, this looks fun. Let's do this. So, but it is a short, like, you have one life,
Yeah.
or you start over, and you just go through the neighborhood beating up kids.
It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah.
It's a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's important to say 2D, I feel like. Where you, instead of like really fighting kids, there is some fighting, but like for the beginning, it's really just you like chasing kids
You're
down.
chasing kids down and beating them till they're dead.
Yeah. So like that part of the game I felt like was really boring. Like I immediately was like, ugh, I don't think that I'm going to like this
I just want to
game.
go to the next part of the stage, and this kid just fucking runs away from
I know.
me.
Yeah. It's like in this zigzag pattern.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating about it is the pattern's extremely like predictable, but at the same time, it's just like for some reason I can't just do what I need to do to kill this kid quickly.
Because I had a lot of issues with the controls.
Yeah.
because like I'd be playing and then suddenly like, I guess because you use the directional key and then like A and S for punch and heavy punch.
Yeah.
And then I found myself like, so I would just lose control and have to click back on the screen all the time. So I'd just be like running and then either continue to run and lose control or just stop completely. So
I didn't have those problems with the controls, but I didn't think, well, as I was playing it on the keyboard, right? I was like, I don't know. I just kind of want to lean back with the controller and see if I can make that happen.
Yeah.
So, are you familiar with software called Joy to Key?
Yep.
So like for anyone listening who's not familiar with it.
I had to do Joy to Key for Binding of Isaac.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because that's how I got the controller to work for Binding of Isaac as well. So for those who aren't familiar, Joy to Key is software that allows you to bind buttons on your controller to keyboard commands. So instead of pressing right arrow on my keyboard, I could bind it to the right stick on an Xbox 360 controller. And that's what I did. And I loved it, except for the one super important move in this game I couldn't do effectively with the buttons on the key, on the controller. I had to use, like, the only way I could do it satisfactorily was to do it on the keyboard. And that is, tell me if you're familiar with this special move, because there's some special moves in the game. If you dash forward and then spam rapidly hit the heavy attack, you like start windmilling your arms and then like you take off into the air. And it's like if you hit somebody with that, you're just gonna take them for a ride until you're done.
That was like, because I thought it was pretty boring until I figured that out. It's like, oh, okay, now I can do more and progress a little quicker.
Well, it felt boring to me too until I figured that out. And I think it's because it took so long to beat up the kids.
Yeah.
Because it's like just doing your punches, and there are combos. Like you can chain light punches with heavy punches and all that kind of stuff.
And pull out a knife and
that's like one of the combo finishers, and that's really cool, and it looks cool. But still, it takes a really long time to get those kids' life bars all the way down.
Kids fucking aren't easy to kill, man.
They're tough, man. I like how it was done in like classic 2D beat 'em up style, where it's like whenever you hit one of the kids, whenever you hit an opponent, their portrait pops up with their name on it. I thought that was neat. That's a nice like homage to the genre.
Plenty of stuff you can pick up and throw.
Yeah, like propane
tanks, recycling bins,
a lawnmower.
Yeah.
They all explode. Pretty much everything you throw explodes. Which is great.
It's like, that's how everything was in GoldenEye. Oh, this model plane. Although I didn't beat it.
You didn't beat it?
No.
How far did you get?
I got to, after the scene where you're, because I took a beating from the James Bond kid with the suction cup launcher.
Right.
So I got past that screen and I ended up dying, and I was like, okay, well, let's just talk about this.
Because he's just, I had trouble with James as well. That's his name. His name is James, and
he's in a tux.
He's a kid in a tux with one of the dart guns, with suction cup dart guns. And he's one of the things that I love about this game, because, and I don't know if this is more on Tom's side or this is more on Dan's side, but it's like, it seems like they spend a lot of time figuring out like nerd archetypes, because it's like the very first enemy you fight is like a total stereotypical nerd, like straight out of a 1950s comic book ad, because he is literally sitting in a sandbox building a sandcastle. And he's wearing a beanie with a propeller on it and like a short sleeve white shirt. And it's like, he is just like proto nerd. And it's like, so right from the beginning, they kind of build this like nerd food chain. And so like he's at the bottom, because like he's like, you can't get any more stereotypical than this. And then they go to different genres of nerds, where it's like, I think it's interesting that there's some soccer players.
Basketball players, one other bully. I've only run into one other bully.
I think his name was Wilbur. It's funny
because he's beating up other kids as you beat other kids, and you end up meeting in the middle.
I know, I love it. So James I love because it reminded me of when I was a kid. I was a nerdy kid, believe it or not. And I remember, even though I didn't really know anything about James Bond, I pretended to be James Bond. Like, that was always like a fantasy kind of thing, you know? And it was because of fucking Doug. It wasn't because of James Bond. It was because of a parody of James Bond on Doug. So there was a degree of separation there. But I love that this James character is in the game. You know how I beat him?
How?
And I played this game a few times because I ended up liking it. I don't know if you could tell from my level of excitement. So right before you get to James, you cross a road, a busy road, where every now and then, like, cars will come from the horizon.
Like a 5-6 second interval.
They'll just zoom towards you. So when I got to James, he fucked me up the first time, but the second time I was like, I'm just going to keep throwing this kid into the road. And that's what I did. Every time I would dash towards him, because you can hit the arrow twice to dash. And when you're dashing and you connect with an enemy, you automatically grab them. And then you can hang the arrow in the different direction and hit the heavy attack, and you will fling them across the screen. And that's what I did. And every time I would wait on the side of the road, and every time he'd get to me, I'd just throw him back in the road. You can also use other kids as human shields.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
like if you grab a kid and you can edge towards him because he's firing and it's just hitting them in front of you. There's back to like the hierarchy of nerds. Right before you cross the road, there's a Boy Scout troop.
Yep. I killed those fuckers.
They just stand there, like they
Until
do
you
not
punch
fight
them.
you back.
Yep.
They just start. They scatter, and then some of them run into the road and get hit by a police car or an ambulance. It's always like someone that should be helping the kids. It's got this like George Romero level of like social critique where it's like, no, I mean, police, they don't help kids who are getting bullied.
That's true.
After James is some kids on ATVs, and those really fucked me up.
Oh, okay, that is where I died. They killed me pretty quickly because James got me to like just a sliver of health. I walked over and ATV kids.
It's right in front of the 24-hour gas station that's like before the overpass. The game like gets, as you progress, as you scroll left to right, the environment gets shittier. It gets poorer and poorer the farther you go into it. And right around the 24-hour gas station, convenience store, these two kids come flying in on ATVs, and the only way that I could figure out to beat them is to do if you hit both of your attack buttons at the same time, you do an uppercut. The only way I could figure to knock them off is to just wait for them and then perfectly
uppercut.
Time an uppercut. I
thought
it's
you had to like
hard.
throw shit because there's like a recycling bin right behind you.
Oh, you can pick that up. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe. I mean,
Maybe that was it, but it was hard after you already done a gauntlet. So.
Yeah, and that's a hard part for me in any beat 'em up is when the dudes on jet skis or whatever come flying in from
motorcycles, jet skis. Yeah,
like that always gets me in like Turtles in Time. When you're like in the sewers and you've got those foot soldiers that are like buzzing you on the surfboards. I just, for some reason, that is my kryptonite in side-scrolling.
I went to go see the new Turtles
movie.
movie.
Shit, you saw it. What do you think?
I feel like they got Bebop and Rocksteady pretty well.
Really?
Pretty well. Yep. Let's see, it wasn't nearly as action-packed as I expected it to be.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like they nailed all the turtles really well. Michelangelo got on my nerves, but like Raph as the enforcer worked really well. Like they cranked Donatello's intelligence up to the max, and he's like steampunk gadgeted out. I like that. Megan Fox is okay as April O'Neil. All right, sure, roll with it. Will Arnett's good.
So Will Arnett is back in it.
The only thing that I like the actor who plays Arrow and Casey Jones. But Casey Jones is such a fucking far cry from, I mean, there's no resemblance. Like, they should have just named him something different because, like, they like hockey. That's about the only thing they have in common.
Oh,
as
the Casey
characters.
Jones in this new movie.
Casey Jones in the movie is a cop.
Yeah.
He's trying to become a detective. A little bit of a hothead, but he's got a noble heart and he just
He's a
wants to
cop?
help. Yeah.
I don't like that.
It doesn't make because Casey Jones is a fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
He hangs out in the streets with various sports equipment and just beats criminals. He's like he's the Turtles equivalent to the Punisher.
Casey Jones is one of those that they always kind of tool with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the IDW comic, he's like a teenager, and he's an abused teenager. He comes from like an abusive home, which I really like because it gives you like insight into like why he is the way he is, why he's kind of confrontational.
Yeah,
and it's because it's because his dad's a real shithead to him.
Yeah,
so I think that's neat. But no, he's not a cop in the comic book.
Yeah.
So did you see?
Because I like the 90s interpretation of Casey Jones.
Yeah, me
was
too.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one that was going to kill Shredder, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, he put him in a trash compactor and turned it on.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Casey Jones. Yeah. This
cricket.
See, so there was I didn't. And that was the only part that was bad. That was so far off.
That's a shame. Does he play a big part in the movie?
Yeah.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if it revealed that Will Arnett is Casey Jones.
That might have been better.
Or if they like slowly start building the cast of Arrested Development through Ninja Turtles movies to the point where it's like eight Ninja Turtle movies in, it's actually Arrested Development and there are no turtles in it. They just slowly just phase them out.
Tobias comes in as Baxter Stockman, and that Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman. I thought was fine. He did a good job.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that Tyler Perry was Baxter Stockman in this movie.
Yep.
Interesting. I'm glad that he is. I'm glad that a black man is Baxter Stockman because like Baxter Stockman in the original comics was a black dude. In the IDW comics, he's a black dude. Like the only time he's not black is in the cartoon, which like as an adult makes me feel like, oh, they were just marketing the white kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
100%.
Like that had to have been it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That makes me feel.
So like
I don't like it.
I feel like he'll come back later as something, but like all he's doing
is he the Fly in the movie or is he okay?
No,
so
he helps build the gateway to Dimension X.
They're setting it up.
So yeah.
Okay. Did you see the first Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles?
I did not.
Okay. Because now you have to see it because I need a comparison. Which one's better? This sounds better.
I've seen the scene where they fight Shredder.
Yeah.
And that's it out of the first movie.
So how big is the Foot Clan in this movie?
Because they're pretty small because like they've been underground since Shredder was arrested.
Okay.
So like you see they're just April O'Neil and Will Arnett's character, the cameraman, like they're able to basically like Casey Jones sort of distracts Bebop and Rocksteady and they're able to take out various ninja, just the two of these normal reporters like jumped out and knock out ninjas and all sorts of shit that the Turtles have had trouble with. Like, suddenly like they're awesome and like they're super stealthy and they're knocking people out.
Tyler, that's because Job's a magician.
Illusionist.
Like I would love anything in that movie. Like I'm going to be disappointed when I go see the second Michael Bay Turtles if Will Arnett's character doesn't just go pennies and like just pennies fly out and hit ninjas.
But then like they take out Shredder's like right hand woman, like just the two of them. Like they barely do it, but they take her out. And,
they do it through public ridicule. Like the media does on a daily basis.
And I didn't know Johnny Knoxville's the voice of Leonardo.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Sheamus is one of the wrestlers plays Bebop or Rocksteady. Rocksteady, I get the two confused. So
Bebop, Warthog, Rocksteady, Rhino.
Okay, so he plays Rocksteady the Rhino.
Okay.
And then the Stevie's dad from Malcolm in the Middle is Bebop.
Interesting.
So
this sounds like a much better movie than the first one.
I don't want to see the first one then.
Well, now, fuck you, because now I really want to see this movie. If I see this one, you have to see the first one.
Okay, fair.
I like Turtle Break. That was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beep, 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 this in. We need a ticker at the bottom of the video feed that we don't have.
Because I very rarely see movies, but I was like,
I know.
I'll go see it.
You're fucking blowing my mind right now.
I just went and saw a matinee of Turtles.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a little jealous you didn't call me.
Well, matinee, you were at work.
Oh, this is during the week.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I would have left. I would have told my boss, "Hey, I gotta go see Turtles."
Hey, Turtles, man, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me how it is. Give me a turtle break when you get back.
I need turtle updates. Look, David, I know that you're not supposed to text when you're in the movie theater, but this is the condition that you're just going to have to live with. You're going to have to text me.
I'm going to need you to film it on your phone.
Yeah.
As you watch it, and then come back and let me see it.
When the usher comes. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have to do this for my boss. I could lose my job if I don't record this. Oh, my God. Dad and me?
Dad and me.
That was it. I like that little Turtles journey.
What happens after you beat the ATV kids?
Okay, so you beat the ATV kids and you progress. You progress a little farther. You kind of get into like the slums of this town, and all of a sudden, 2 more ATVs roll in, and instead of just regular kids riding it, it's ninja kids. So if you thought the ATVs were obnoxious, I would rather keep the ninjas on the ATVs, because the moment you destroy the ATVs, this is how I destroy it every time, because I had such a hard time with the ATVs in general. Before you get to the ninjas riding them, there's a propane tank. And what I just decided, I'm just going to take the hit. I grab the propane tank, hold it over my head, and I just walk towards them and let them hit me. Because if they hit me, I fall, I drop the propane tank, it blows both of them up and destroys their ATVs.
Okay.
So it's a sacrifice. I Dark Knighted this game.
Yeah.
So once they're off, they are super annoying because they have the only jump attack in the game. And I think that's worth mentioning. All the fighting in this game takes place on the fucking ground.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very different than a lot of brawlers, because the jump kick is like your go-to
what you have to do.
fucking move. Like that's how you kill bosses. I mean, that's just how you do.
Yeah.
That's just how you beat them up. So this game is interesting because they completely take that out of the equation. And then you're shown how fucking broken jump kicking is, because these 2 ninjas in the game, that's all they do. That is all that they do. They jump up in the air, Bionic Man style. There's this trail, and then they come down at you at a diagonal, and then they jump right back up and do it again. So when you got 2 of them doing it at the same time, it is a nightmare. So like if the goal of this game is to make you feel like a mini boss from Double Dragon, it succeeded.
And I see that.
So once you beat them, the way that I beat them is if you can get 1 hit on them, they fall over. And once they fall over, I do that charging windmill thing, and you can take them out in 1 of those. So they're really weak. It's just they're hard to catch. So after that is the best part in the game, the final boss. And the reason I knew he was the final boss, I knew immediately that this character named Sunchips is the final boss of the game. He had a gun. And I was like, this is it. This is the boss. It has to be the boss. He has like a handgun that it's the shittiest handgun in the world, because it only holds 2 bullets. He fires the 2 bullets and then he drops the clip and reloads. So he is a shirtless thug with gold chains, a backwards hat, and sagging pants. So it's interesting because like he's got this posse of kids who are wearing like, let's just call they're not Tweety Bird shirts, but let's just say they're Tweety Bird shirts. So he's got this posse around him. And his big move, Sunchips' big move, is firing the gun. But what happens is if you knock him down, he starts Eddie Gordoing all over the place. So it's like you can't you can't, once you get him down, you can't go over and just beat the shit out of him because he'll Eddie Gordo up. And then he starts doing this, he does this ultra move where he like does Eddie Gordo like across the floor. Like he just starts breakdancing across the floor, like as shadow forms of him trail behind. It's his ultimate move. And then like if you get hit by it, the screen like flashes red and you fly up and it deals massive damage. So I can speak from certainty and experience that dying there sucks.
Yeah,
because you have to. There's no continue.
Yeah.
You have to start all over again. But once you beat him, what happens is spoilers. If you don't want to know, the ending of this 12-minute game, go skip ahead. When you beat him, your dad pulls up in the station wagon with like the back is just full of chainsaws and axes, and he gets out, and it freeze frames with him like I guess about to kill Sun Chips. So that's dad in me. I feel like I just talked about this game. I've never bumped rails before, but I feel like I just bumped about 9 rails and then just talked about this game.
After showering with your dad simulator, then now this.
I'm on a high. I really am. I'm on a dad high. I've been surprised by 2 games in a row, and that does not really happen on this show for me a lot.
We've got, a list game to do next, so don't worry. We'll smack that down.
Oh, I know. Here comes the pain.
Yeah.
I like the start over screen. There's no continue, but when you die, you get a game over. The background goes black, and this is how beautiful the animation is. I mean, the animation like really, really makes this game. Like there's interesting mechanical concepts, but like if you don't like the animation style of like Castle Crashers, you're going to have a hard time with this game, I think. Even though it's charming, I feel like most people would like this style. So when you die, the game over screen, the background goes black, and me falls over dead, and his spirit leaves his body.
Yep.
And if you hit start over, this goes back to the punching theme. If you hit start over, the spirit flies back down from the top of the screen and punches the body and gets inside of it. It like uppercuts it up into the air, and then while the body's in the air, it flies right into it. And then you start the game over.
Yep.
A good game. This was a good
for just like a short little flash game, it was.
So short.
And to know what it started.
I know. It was weird because I got a huge appreciation for the game when I realized that this was kind of the beginning. It's hard going into it having played Alien Hominid and Castle Crashers because it does not have that level of polish to it.
Yeah.
I haven't played Battle Block Theater.
Yeah, Battle Block Theater's so good.
Because that's another one of theirs. And I need to play it because it's like I love everything that these 2 guys have done. I love it.
Yeah.
And I can't get enough of it. I would love to see Dad and Me expanded
like a full
upon.
game,
I would love that because just the taking the jump kick out of a beat 'em up changes the fucking game. It's like it's a completely different thing because now it's like now you really do have to think about special moves and stuff like that. And I get it. Like that might not be for like people who don't like fighters like Tyler. I know that you don't really like using special moves in fighters. That might turn those people away.
Yeah.
But for me, I love the beat 'em up genre, and it kind of puts a new spin on it. Yeah. And it looks beautiful.
Yeah, no, art style is just perfect. I'm with you 100%.
I am so sorry that I've been talking so much.
No. Love it. Do you have any achievements?
No, I don't have any achievements. Okay. And which surprises me because I really like this game, and usually I come up with them. But instead of coming up with them, I finished this game 5 times.
Damn.
Because I just wanted to play it over and over again. I got addicted to it because it's like each time I would find something new.
You messed around and got addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Musical Joe.
Yeah. That's rare. That's show note worthy.
I ended up I watched some of those Jimmy Fallon lip sync videos today, and that was on there. So that's why it's in my head.
Did I tell you about when my dad came in and we watched YouTube?
No.
Oh man. So this is great. It's Dad Month. So
Yeah,
this
dad
is a
stories.
dad tangent. My dad and I don't typically
A
like
dadgent?
a dad gent. We don't typically like watching the same stuff. If given his preference, he'd rather watch like an LSU football game or baseball game or whatever LSU is doing at the time, whatever season sport it is. He wants to watch that. While I actually don't want to watch anything, I just want to use the television to play video games.
Yeah.
It's very like our relationship as far as like our TV relationship hasn't changed since I was a child. He wants to actually watch sports on TV, and I just want to play a video game on it.
Yep.
So he can't.
Can I play yet? Can I play yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I play yet?
Is the game over? Is the game over? Can I play? Can I play? Is the game over? So he came in this weekend to visit Henry, and we were sitting on the couch, and out of the blue, he saw the YouTube logo on the PS3 that I have hooked up in the living room, and he's like, "Oh, that YouTube is addictive." And I kind of just like gave him a sideways glance, like, "Dog, you watch YouTube?"
You seen that keyboard cat?
Yeah.
You seen that shit, Dad?
And this is awful because I won't.
You see that beard man, Dad?
All the hits.
Let's go on a journey.
All the hits.
Oh, Long Johnson, Dad. You know what I'm talking about?
He confessed to me that he loves the car sing along segment that is on like the Late Late Show with what's the British dude?
Oh, he's the new guy that replaced Craig Ferguson.
Yeah. He has this segment. God, I wish I could remember his name. Damn it.
It's James something.
Yeah, that sounds right. James Buffett. Jimmy Buffett?
Jimmy Buffett.
So there's this segment where like he gets in the car with like Adele for example, and they drive around listening to songs and they sing along to it. So that's kind of the bit. And my dad loves it. And we sat there and we watched like an hour of this where it's like, this is weird that I'm able to sit down and watch what I would consider a weird thing for my dad to be into, watch it with him. So
it's like my dad, like boxing was always the thing. Like he would come in and at night he would just watch boxing.
Yeah.
And I hated doing that. But now it's like occasionally I'll see him watch boxing, but now it's The Voice. I've talked about how much he just fucking loves The Voice.
Right.
And the only other thing that we've both been like, let's keep watching this, is Borat. Because my dad just like, fuck, man, I've never, ever, ever seen him laugh like that. Not even close to that in my whole life.
Borat's pretty good.
Man.
I mean, Borat's pretty funny.
Because him showing like the naked pictures of his sister to random strangers at like a dirt, like, oh man, Dad lost his shit about that. What did he say? His sister.
Do you have achievements for this game, Tyler?
I just thought of sand castles in the sand. So for How I Met Your Mother fans, knock over the kid's sandcastle at the
very beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I came up with one on the fly, so it's going to be awful, but I'd like to contribute. It is called Gotta Catch 'Em All, which I'm pretty sure is a title that you've probably heard. You've probably heard that somewhere before. I don't know. But in my 5 playthroughs, I noticed something on the playground. Right after the nerd and the sandbox, there is a playground kid who is on one of those, I don't know what you call those, they're like the plastic molded animals that kids ride, and they're on they're
just
mounted.
Like the one spring.
Yeah, they're mounted on a giant spring. I don't know what those are called, but those animals change out each time you play. Because one time it was a pelican, one time it was a giraffe, the other time I think it was some kind of mole. And I love that's just another one of those things that I like about these guys is it's like that is a finishing touch that they did not have to do.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that. It could have just been the pelican every time. So in order
I hope they got an argument over it. And they finally stopped it. Fine, fuck it. It'll change every time. No one's going to notice that. We'll both get what we want that way. Fucking change it.
Just I love the idea of a heated argument in a Pizza Hut, over the buffet.
No, we do the mole.
Pelican. Shut up, eat your cheese stick. It's a fucking pelican. Everyone in the restaurant's very uncomfortable.
I got another one, propane and propane accessories.
Okay.
Because that'll be kill a kid with a propane tank.
I love it. I love it. Let me see if I can come up with another one. Let's say regretful recall. And in order to unlock regretful recall, you need to find Afro Ninja because he's in the game.
Yeah.
And I guess you just got to kill him, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a pretty bad achievement. Oh, I've got one.
Okay.
It's called sports. With a Z. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Oh, yeah,
Sports.
of course. How else do you spell it?
To unlock sports, when you run across the soccer players, they have a ball that you can use as a weapon. You kick it, and you can kick it at enemies. Well, you just kick it into the goal. And later on the basketball court, you can use the basketball as a weapon, and you can get it to go through the hoop. And it happened by accident. It was like one of those like
Can you throw a kid through the hoop?
Ooh, I don't know. I hope so.
Because I thought I almost did that. So I was like, I wonder if you can do that. So.
But what happened to me with the basketball is because like when you have the basketball, it's really you just throw it horizontally. It's not like you're shooting a basketball, like it's not arcing. What happened to me was I threw the basketball at a kid. It hit the kid's head, bounced off the kid's head, and went into the hoop. And I was like, I know it's probably programmed like that, but I feel like a huge fucking badass right now. Like I just like this is my video game achievement of the year.
This is how sports feel.
Yeah.
Man.
I get it now.
I'm going to watch basketball.
If that's how you played basketball, like if basketball was some kind of weird like dodgeball basketball hybrid, I would totally watch that.
You have to breed specialized thick-skulled kids to play basketball.
Did you catch the reference to there's a kid wearing a red and white striped shirt, a Waldo shirt, I would call it, but he's wearing a red helmet, like a red football helmet.
Oh, he'll just charge you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Ronald. Do you know, like, is that a pop culture reference that I didn't catch? Or
No.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I hope it was a kid they knew named Ronald.
Who wore a helmet to school
Yeah.
every day.
There's a kid named Chuck who has a yellow shirt with a black zigzag on
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
I
nice
noticed
little
that
Charlie
one.
Brown reference. James Bond, of course. There's a bunch of emo kids. I'm trying to think of any other references that I'm sure that I missed.
Yeah.
But do you have any more achievements?
Yeah, I think that's it for me. I feel like you should do beards and glasses, though, for this game.
Whoa,
I feel
no.
like you should.
No, okay, I'll make you a deal.
Or I do beards, you do glasses. You want to split it?
Well, I tell you what. Here's my deal. I'd like to propose an offer.
Okay.
Because I have not yet seen TMNT. What's the subtitle of the new one? Is it
Out of the Shadows.
Out of the Shadows? Since I have not seen Out of the Shadows yet, Tyler, I would love for you to give a beard and a pair of glasses for that movie.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
I in return will give you a beard and glasses for Dad and me.
Okay. All right. So if I were to give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows
Yes.
a beard, I would have to give it a very oily Fu Manchu.
Okay.
And because it's Fu Manchu, it's appropriate. Splinter has one, but at the same time, like it's very greasy and slick, almost like a villain. So it's not appealing to everybody, but it's appropriate.
Okay. Okay.
And then
It fits the subject matter
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well. It's thematic.
because it's not like So it could be better. But
Yeah.
it fits.
I get it.
It worked. Let's see. And glasses, I would have to give it, like the glasses that, I don't know what you would call them, like microscope glasses, where it's like glasses, but you can keep moving lenses that are smaller and smaller for increased
So like
magnification.
Donatello steampunk kind of glasses.
Yeah. Give them those glasses, but like some of them are broken. Like the middle ones and some of the smaller ones are broken
Because it has character or because it's a little shitty?
Because some of them, like Casey Jones, is like that middle one that the lens is broken. It doesn't
Gotcha.
that doesn't work.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. Weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Weird tangent. Is there anyone in particular that you would have cast for Casey Jones?
man, I was thinking about that because that's a hard one to do. Because I think the actor in the '90s fucking nailed it.
Yes, I agree.
So, but I mean, it would have to be. Oh man, who would I cast?
I know
now?
he's old, But I think like a younger, who's the guy who plays Stabler in Law and Order SVU?
I have no idea.
Do you know the guy I'm talking
Nope.
about? Like the balding cop. Like a younger version of him, I would see. It's like,
Chris Maloney?
yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That will be Chris Maloney. Because I love Chris Maloney.
'Cause
He doesn't do enough comedy.
Yes,
He's so
because-
fucking good. Gene and Red Hot American
Right,
Summer.
I know, he's great.
Everything comedy I see him in, it's like, fuck, why do you do drama? You're so good at comedy.
I know. But like he strikes me as like, that is a guy I would be afraid of.
He's crazy.
If he had like a hockey mask and like a
Yeah.
stick, like I would be afraid of that
Well,
dude.
you should see him in Oz. He is like a
No, I
horrendous.
refuse.
Oh, he's scary as shit in Oz.
I didn't know he was in Oz.
Yeah.
I can never, like before we had this conversation, I could never watch Oz. Now it is like
Yeah.
completely off the table.
Because he's the one that probably causes like the most heartbreaking moment in Oz. So
So let's put him in a de-aging containment
Yep.
unit, and let's just pump souls
Pump him full of
into him,
youth. Yeah.
right. Pump him full of youth. Theyouthchamber.com. That's
I'm trying to think who now. Like I was trying to think. Everyone age appropriate. I feel like I see too many pretty people, and Casey Jones shouldn't be
Right.
pretty.
he should be like
He could be attractive, but not like model pretty.
Right, exactly. Man, that's good. We're gonna have to. Man, I don't know. Chris Maloney. That's all I got.
Because like I watched the second Percy Jackson movie. I watched the first one and it was okay, and I finally got around to watching the second one. And there's a character they introduce in the book. It's a daughter of Ares, and she's described as like she's large, disproportionate, facial features. She's not attractive, but of course in the movie, she's fucking gorgeous. And like I saw, it, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
can you just not? Can they just not all be pretty? Just
Yeah.
not all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
some
yeah,
of them. Can you just bring back a Clint Howard?
Yeah.
Not everybody has to be gorgeous.
I don't know if I think this is a trend that's maybe changing, and this is a weird tangent on a tangent. But British television for me, and I maybe a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people who enjoy British television, it's such a breath of fresh air for
Yeah,
me
to see normal people.
normal looking people, and I'm not saying like. I mean, it's a wide range of like attractive to not attractive. I mean, and I love that because it feels more real, and it feels counterintuitive to me that like Hollywood is making these like gritty, realistic interpretations of movies, but it's like everybody is model pretty, to put it like in your words. While it's like, meanwhile, across the pond, they're like, well, I mean, people just look like this, so
Yeah.
why not just have regular people in our things?
I might have also cast Casey Jones black and went with the guy who played the Human Torch in the new
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Fantastic Four. He was in Friday Night Lights, the last season of Friday Night Lights, and he's really good.
I am thinking of maybe because of him playing the Punisher in the new Daredevil, but the guy who plays the Punisher, I think he could since he's playing a bloodthirsty psychopath in something
Yeah.
already, that maybe he could be Casey
Fine, go
Jones.
do this. Yeah.
I haven't even seen Daredevil. I don't know how good he is, but I've heard he's
I've
wonderful.
heard he's great. Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Okay, so I owe you some glasses and I owe you some beards, I feel like. If I were to give this game a pair of glasses, Tyler, I think that I would give them severely damaged, thick, black, plastic frame nerd glasses that have just
Okay.
been like, obviously, they've been broken, taped together, broken again, taped together, broken again, taped together. The glasses that are just like, oh man, we gotta get you new glasses, dog.
Yeah.
Like those are like, that's making you more a target. The fact that like someone's busted those on your face so many times.
Oh, yeah.
So my glasses from middle school is what I'm saying. And as far as a beard goes, I'm gonna give it Rasputin's beard. Because I feel like I watched me die so many times playing this game. And I also feel like me is maybe not a super great guy. So
Maybe.
so I watched Me after tormenting.
Me is a product of your upbringing.
Yeah. Yeah. Me, I watched beat up a whole bunch of kids. So it's like when I die, it's like, well, I fucking deserved it. But my spirit punches me back to health, just like Rasputin's did, I assume.
Yeah.
Every time he was stabbed,
was pretty good.
Rasputin's spirit just slapped Rasputin's physical form across with his giant fucking horse dick and woke him up and jumped in.
It's good. I like that.
If you could find a good deal on Rasputin's penis in a jar, Tyler, would you buy it?
If it's a really good deal,
How good of a deal would it have to be?
$1.
Okay.
I have too many jarred penises as it is.
I don't think you're going to find
I
it.
call them Vienna sausages.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to show up next time we record with Rasputin's penis in a jar, and you're going to owe me a fucking $1.
pay up, motherfucker.
I got it.
And I know we talking about Newgrounds.
Oh, shit. We did.
Yeah, I know we definitely want to take calls, so
Yeah.
we're running late into that. So I think we could do Newgrounds on like its own standalone Othership Monday
wanna?
sometime.
You wanna?
Because that's such a deep well. I think
It
we
is.
could dedicate a whole episode to just Newgrounds.
I'm down. That's a good idea. I like that. My only concern with that is I'm not going to be able to remember all the names of the games that I used to play.
Yeah.
And because like I've gone back and tried to find some that I played like way back, like when Newgrounds first came out, essentially, like I don't know, 2001, 2002, whenever. And it's like I can't find them anymore because there's so many games on there and I can't even remember the name. And so it's like I find myself like Googling just random search terms to try to find the game, like Newgrounds early dating sim, lift weights. And it's like none of the results are relevant.
Yeah, you want to take some calls then?
I would love to take some calls, Tyler. Right after I go see Out of the Shadows in theaters now.
And I saw it in 3D.
Damn, son.
I double don't do that like ever, but it was the only thing showing in the matinee.
Holy shit. Man, I am jealous, dude. I am so jealous. All right, here is our first text message, Tyler. This is from 520, who says, obligatory motherfucking tadpog. Just finished 296. Was wondering, what's the hottest thing you guys have eaten? For me, it was Mad Dog 357 hot sauce. It's 357,000 Scoville units. And that is from, man, this is a bloody knave of Ziggy Moon's Mike episode. The same dude
Nice.
who sent you your new pillowcase.
So I would say it's the Bombshell. Or was it Bombshell? What was that? What was the ridiculous stuff?
Flashbang, the stuff
Flashbang,
that
thank
Nicole
you.
and Josh
Yeah,
got you.
Flashbang.
That flashbang did feel like, I mean,
Because Flashbang is like 1,000,000 Scoville.
yeah, it did not feel like food.
It is hotter than pepper spray.
Yeah, it felt like
So-
it was like it was a chemical burn, like on
Yeah.
my tongue. Like you know the scene in Fight Club with the lie on the hand.
Yeah.
It was like that, but in my mouth.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm with you. That is 100% the hottest thing I've eaten. Nikki makes this baked chicken for me now that is fucking amazing because it's like because she's not a restaurant. She's like, how hot do you want this? I'm just like, just fucking throw spices at it. Just take out all the frustration you have for me out on this chicken. Just be like, motherfucker up all night.
Just call it hate fuck chicken.
Yeah.
And just
I love that. I'm going to tell her that when I get home. Sweetie, could you make me up some of that hate fuck chicken?
you bet your fucking ass I'll make you some hate fuck chicken.
You bet. Yo, you weren't up till 11 a.m., huh? Yeah, I got this. I hate fuck chicken this all over the place.
And behind that, it's probably the Dave's Insanity Sauce Carolina Reaper sauce after that.
Have you ever had the atomic wings from
Yep.
Wingstop?
Yeah.
How do you feel like
Well, I've had the
those-
Atomic Wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. I have them from
okay.
Wingstop.
I haven't had them from Buffalo Wild Wings. I really recommend that you try the Atomic Wings at Wingstop because I feel like you and I are like we're like spicy rivals because we're like what Naruto and Lee in the early or because I don't know what their relationship becomes later, but it's like I feel like we both love spicy food, but I feel like we're on even ground. And it's like, I feel like sometimes you'll edge over me and like eat something spicier, and I'll be like, fuck, I gotta up my game.
I need to take you to go to Tandoori in Clarksville because I ordered it was so hot I could only eat a little bit at a time. It took me like 4 days to eat this chicken tikka masala that I ordered.
Let's do it. And then let's also go to Wingstop because I want you to try the atomic wings.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they've just...
Let's also go to the hospital from our ulcers.
Yeah. I don't know if they've found... I don't know if it's really super spicy or if they've just found this chink in my armor where they can just slide that dagger in. Because to me, these are really, really, really hot wings.
Okay.
But I also insist that I lick my fingers.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
And it's not sweet, but it has a glazed kind of feel to it. So that spicy glaze
sticks there and just doesn't go away. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like burning yourself with sugar, which is fucking awful.
Burning yourself with sugar?
When I'm working with molten sugar making hard candies, you get some of that 350 degree sugar on you.
Oh my God.
It's sticky.
Shit.
So it just stays there and burns the fuck out of you. So you can't really you can hardly wash it off. It's just man, molten sugar. Oh man, that shit's awful.
All right. Well, now I know the next time I make a Molotov cocktail, just put a little sugar in there.
Because what was I remember in culinary school? It was fucking stupid. I was in baking and I was doing something and I was like, I wonder if I had the level right in this, and I just fucking stuck my finger in it.
Oh.
And it was just and I pulled it back, and it's it's not stopping. It's not stopping. So just the tip of my finger, just molten sugar just burning the shit out of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least it was your finger.
Yeah. I'm a dickhead.
Yeah. You just got to look around the room. Well, no one's looking.
Get my sugar tester.
We got another text message from Bloody Knave of Ziggy Moon's Mike. That's difficult to say, Mike. He says, "Oh yeah, almost forgot Sailor Moon can be regular ep, and there is Sailor Moon Brawler in the arcade."
Okay.
So that's what I want to do, Chandra. That's what I want to do. I didn't know that there was a Sailor Moon Brawler. Mm-hmm. Yes, please. That's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So Chandra, let us know when you want to do that, and we'll set it up.
Yep.
Because we owe you that. I forgot about the Sailor Moon app until Ziggy Moon's.
Because that's his Patreon request.
Yeah, we do need to get on that.
Yep.
Here is, let's see. Here's a call from 614.
Fucking TADPOG. This is number one SoundCloud fan, Kyle, and I'm here to defend all of us who stand up to wipe our asses.
Oh man.
I was listening to the older episodes. I remember getting angry about this back when this episode came out. I forgot to call in. Now I'm angry again, and I'm calling back. I'm calling. So, you guys, no one there stands up to wipe their ass, and I don't get why. The reason I do it, I stand all the way up. Imagine someone standing all the way up, and then they arch back. They look back like they're looking behind them to wipe. And the reason I do it is because I have short arms, really, really short little arms, and I'm fat. So how else am I supposed to reach
you on the T-Rex arms.
I can't reach forward because then you're wiping poop all through your gooter on the bottom of your balls. How is that better? Oh. And then if you lean sideways, that's just uncomfortable, Dave. I don't get it. I don't honestly. You only get one cheek at that point, then you have to use your left hand, and then you're probably gonna be really sloppy.
No.
You get poop everywhere if you try to use your left hand to wipe your left cheek. So
I'm good at it.
I really think that standing up is the best way to do it. And I get what you mean, Tyler, about the peanut butter and jelly sandwich already made. Yes, that's happened before. But you learn that when you sit on the toilet, you then spread your butt cheeks as much as you can so all the poop can come out without touching the butt cheeks. So there's only a little bit left over anyway. So it's really an art, how you do it. So I'm just defending those of us who stand, and you guys are insane, and I'm terribly offended. I'll probably unsubscribe. Actually, I'm going to unsubscribe. Screw you guys.
Well, clearly we deserve it for things that we said years ago. Look.
That's like having a Republican on the Bill Maher show. It's just you were fucking in the wrong place, my friend.
So wait, I don't understand why he's assuming that I'm wiping with my left hand if I'm one cheek in it. I lean to the left and I use my right hand. Tyler, you're left-handed, so I assume you do it mirror. You probably lean to the right and use left hand.
And
right?
even though I'm left-handed, I can use a mouse with both hands equally as well, but I'm so used to using my right hand to use the mouse. Like, I'd imagine, like, people, if they're left-handed, like, I can also wipe with my right hand because I've done it too. Like, it doesn't matter what dominant hand you are, you can just do it with enough practice.
Yeah. I like how you brought the mouse analogy in because I was like, you use the mouse on the toilet? And then, like, at first I was like surprised.
You don't use the mouse method to wipe your ass?
At first I was
You
surprised.
just wrap a cloth around the mouse and just like dangle it in there.
You just flip it around like a flail.
We call it the shitty ratatouille. And he just gets in there. It's fine.
The shitty ratatouille is a whole nother thing. It's a whole furry thing where you pretend to be Patton Oswalt. Okay, well, I'm glad that that's back. Because the war rages on.
Rages on.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
We can do another one.
All right, here we go. Thanks for calling, Kyle, by the way. I appreciate it. Looks like he calls back. Probably, I'm assuming, to apologize. I'm assuming.
Or to fan the flames. We'll see.
Here we go.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm not actually going to subscribe. You guys are like all I have. So anyway, I have 2 more stories. I heard Dave talking about pooping in the shower, and that reminded me of the time that I pooped in the ocean. And I have to tell you about that.
Oh,
I was
man.
at the beach. I was like 15, 16, and I really had to poop. And we were at like Myrtle Beach, where you rent one of those houses, and but our family was a little cheap, so we got the house that was about half a mile inland. So we had to walk to the beach every day, which was fun. It was nice outside. But when you got to poop, you're not gonna walk back to the house. I definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, here's what I'll do. I swam out.
That's it. It cut off.
Oh, damn.
Let's see if he calls back. Do you think he did it on purpose? To like tease us?
It's like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah. Well, like he was like, I'm going to call it. You know what? I'm going to do these fucking sitters. I'm going to call in and tease him with an awesome poop in the ocean story. And then I'm not going to tell it
And
to
I'll
him.
never talk to him ever again.
I'll never tell. I'm scrolling to see if he calls back. He does like days later. Do you want me to play it and see what's up?
We'll get to it.
Okay. We're going to leave.
No one gets special treatment.
Yeah. You think he's testing
Unless
us?
it's sexual. So
Is he testing us to see if we'll jump him in the line?
maybe.
All right. Well, Tyler says no.
No.
He's putting his foot down.
We had to wait between Zach's calls. Everybody waits.
I wanted to help you, Kyle. I really did. I wanted to help you out.
Because if it's days later, he didn't know, so it'll be a totally different call.
I want to hear this story.
I bet he doesn't tell it.
He probably
I bet he
doesn't.
thought
Yeah.
he didn't know he got cut off.
He knows how to get. No, I think he knows how to get to us sitters. He just knows that we can be tantalized with ocean pooping stories. I was always afraid to poop in the ocean when we lived in Florida.
Yeah.
We lived like a block away from the beach. And I was always terrified that if I pooped in the ocean, it would attract a shark and it would eat me.
When girls have their periods and when guys poop in the ocean, it attracts sharks.
Oh man, that would. Oh, I'm so glad that I wasn't a girl because that would have like driven me into like a fear fit. I never would have stepped into the ocean. I would have been. Oh no, I couldn't have done that.
I can start it any second. I can't. No, I can't.
No, I had shark anxiety, Tyler.
See, if I could have been assured, if my colon had been like, nah, bro, this is a solid one. No, you're good. You're good. Like, I might have pooped in the ocean.
Yeah.
So I've had that clenching walk all the way
Yeah.
back to the beach house before.
Instead, people are like, "Did a squid just squirt ink in the water?"
Who kicked up all the sand? You know, like, now chances are I was just gonna have like diarrhea of the ocean.
Yeah.
So like, no fucking way.
Diarrhea in the ocean. That's like your first rap album. Dry tubs.
Dry tubs, diarrhea in the ocean. That's pretty good. That's about time.
All right. Sweet. Hey, Kyle, thanks for calling again and
Yeah.
teasing us with an awesome pooping in the ocean story.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. So don't miss the next episode. We'll be talking about Digital Trends' 24th ranked Sega Genesis game.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to say.
Zerweiss Shreg?
Herzog.
Herzog Zwei. Shorty her. Let's see. If you like that, if you want to reward us, we're stuck at that 148. We're stuck at that 148 iTunes
148.
reviews.
Oh, reviews. Yeah.
So iTunes is the biggest marketplace. It helps us grow. It's a component to growth.
Yeah.
So if you want to help us grow, we'd appreciate it. If you go to iTunes, find TADPOG, subscribe, give the show a 5-star rating, write a review. So further try to sweeten the deal for you. This is our honeypot.
Yeah.
So if there's like a game you want us to play, a guest host for an episode, a Patreon request,
Want us to shit in the ocean?
yeah, of various consistencies, whatever that is, include that in your 5-star written review, and we promise we will get to that eventually.
Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. We're going to be talking about Herzogsve. In the meantime, you can. I'm going to say it like an asshole every time, in case you're wondering. Herzogsve. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. Hey, do you want to see? I don't know. There'll be a link to Tentacle Bendo in there. You could probably just Google that, but please go to our site and click the link instead. I don't know. There might be some other stuff there, like, hey, want to find a link to Joy to Key that you can install on your very own home computer? Don't Google it. Just go to tadpog.com, click on the show notes of this episode and get to it that way.
Instead of like Googling everyday common things, we'll just make links in the show notes so you can use the sophisticated search algorithm that is the TADPOG website and then just try to find it there. Give us that instead of Google.
Tadpog.com, hashtag new Google.
Google has enough.
You know what else? You know where else you can find us, Tyler?
Where?
On Facebook.
Yeah.
We're at facebook.com/TADPOG. There are a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. I had some good conversation with some Patreon donors about our stand-up comedy bonus episode that we just recently released. So that's really cool. I like it when we can talk about the content in the show because like most of the time, that's where I get all the we done goofs because it's like, oh yeah, well, I didn't know that, but now I do. So if you want to join in on the conversation, feel free. You can find us on facebook.com/TADPOG. You can find us on Twitter. We're at TADPOG_podcast. It's cumbersome. I realize. Thank you to everybody who's retweeting us, especially our episode announcements, because that helps spread the TADPOG sermon. You're evangelizing for diarrhea in the ocean, and we appreciate it. You can, I don't know, you can also talk to us there if you want. I'm trying to be active as I possibly can on there. I mentioned this. We do have a Patreon. We just recently released a bonus episode. We're actually we're talking about things to kind of like amp up the Patreon and give you guys additional rewards and like trying to make that just more fun and something that we can really give back to people who are donating more than the requisite dollar to get the bonus episode. Yep. So we are working on that. I don't know when that's going to be ready to announce, but just keep a lookout for that. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this and do want to donate and hear the bonus episodes that we have on there already and that we are going to publish in the future, you can find us at patreon.com/TADPOG. Thank you very, very, very much to everybody who donates on there. I want to thank Peter Panda, who just recently upped his pledge amount. I want to thank Logan Burrell. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He is a new patron. And I want to thank Exalted Lord Micah Purdue, who just upped his pledge amount. Yeah. So thank you guys. It's very, very nice. It makes us feel good, and it does actually help us and help the show. So
very true. Before I get to more of my stuff, I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Because we got a message on the TADPOG Facebook about a TADPOG fan who started their own podcast. And it's like, hey, would you plug me? I'll give you some more reviews. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take those reviews.
Yeah, fine. Let's do that. Who is it?
So Octavius Farnsworth is on Facebook. And he sent me, he has started the Game and Movie Podcast. You can find that. It's on SoundCloud. So that's soundcloud.com/game-and-movie-podcast.
All right.
So there you go. Let's see. You can send us stuff.
Yep.
You can mail us things.
You want to mail us more waifu pillows?
Yep.
We can fight over. Man, we had so many fights.
Yeah.
I thought the show was going to end because we didn't each have one.
So thank you for solving that unreachable dilemma, that Kobayashi Maru of the single waifu pillow.
Ziggy Moon's mic is like Winter Soldier. If you've seen Civil War, you get it.
Yep.
I'm not going to spoil it, although I feel like I just did. Oops, sorry.
If you've seen it, you know the Winter Soldier is a waifu pillow. Is a waifu pillow put over Captain America's shield?
That's the twist at the end of the movie.
I'm the Winter Soldier doing some Civil War.
Oh shit, dog.
Marvel.
Marvel, the MCU is just actually a Deadpool daydream. Man, wow, they really fucking trolled us on that.
But you can send us something at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Yes. And if you want to call us, if you would like to leave us a voicemail or text message, you can do so at 270-883-2555.
Then we also have an Instagram, TADPOG_podcast.
Yeah.
I've been more on top of putting shit up there.
Yes.
So it's more worthwhile for you to check it out. So
We also have a Steam group, which we never, ever, ever mention. Look for us on Steam. It's TADPOG Podcast. You can join it.
yeah, I'll confirm it. I don't care who you are. Our regular theme song is moved to a Sycamore Drive. Leave that track from the show notes at tadpog.com.
Yep.
How'd you close this out, Dave?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Like a character in Tentacle Bento,
Okay.
which we haven't played, so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's up for interpretation.
So until next time.
I started with tentacle. I said tentacle Capricorn.
Oh,
That's what I said.
shit.
We have to start this whole recording over. I insist.
All right.
This is
All right.
I'm playing my diva card. We're recording this over.
Okay. Hello, Internet. And thank you for...